Hello, Namaskar and a very good evening to all the viewers watching our session. This is Simran Singh and you are all watching us on PM eVidya channel number 6 to 12. Viewers, there are different mediums through which you can connect with us, and one of them is our YouTube channel. As you all know, it is NCRT Official. So it's around 4 PM on your watch and regularly from Monday till Fridays. At this particular timing, that is from 4 till 5 PM, we come up with our special sessions for all our viewers to enhance your understanding about diverse experiences and also to enrich your classroom experiences. So here I would again welcome all our viewers in our online series on Cyber Jagrookta Diwas. Well, as you all know that for the month of September 2022, the theme is being safe and responsible digital citizen. I would also like to inform you that the Ministry of Home Affairs is implementing a scheme that is called Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center to deal with cybercrimes in a coordinated and comprehensive manner. Well, the objective is to create awareness among students, teachers, parents, and also all our viewers watching our sessions. Therefore, we observe the first Wednesday of every month as Cyber Jagrookta Diwas. So for the month of September 2022, CIT and NCRT has planned a series on the theme that is being safe and responsible digital citizen. So today the area of discussion would be digital rights and responsibilities. Well, I'm delighted to inform you that in this conversation we are joined by our esteemed panelists. So allow me to introduce our guest with all our viewers. Here in the conversation we have with us Shri Harmeet Singh ji. Namaskar sir.
नमस्कार जी.
Good evening sir. बहुत स्वागत है आपका इस सत्र में. Shri Harmeet Singh ji is an IPS officer from 1992 batch. He has taken charge as the Guwahati Police Commissioner. सर बहुत इस्तकबाल आपका इस सत्र में. साथ ही हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं मिस भावना गोस्वामी. नमस्कार मैम.
Namaskar.
We welcome you in the session with open arms. Ma'am is a development practitioner. She has completed her Masters in Development Communication and Extension from Lady Irwin College, University of Delhi. And with that, I would also like to take this opportunity to welcome all our viewers in the conversation. For another 1 hour, we have our panelists with all our viewers. So if you have any queries in mind, any questions, any feedback you would like to share with us, then drop it down in the comment section of NCRT Official. That's our YouTube channel. Besides, here is the contact number that is flashing on your screens. So don't forget to give us a call at 8800440559, and also very specific mail IDs again there on your screens. So you may also reach out to us at cybersafety@cret.nic.in. So we all know that a digital citizen is the one who promotes and upholds responsible use of technology that is utilized on a daily basis. So in the first place, Harmeet sir, I would request you to share a few flowers from your bucket of knowledge with all our viewers. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry I missed that.
Yeah, sir. So I would request you to please apprise our viewers more about digital rights and responsibilities from your bucket of knowledge.
I think Bhavna first wants to do a presentation. Bhavna, are you doing a presentation?
Yes, sir.
So I think let's go through that presentation and then I think I'll put things into perspective, because let's not have a repetition of your presentation and what I'm going to say.
Of course,
so,
sir.
Ma'am, can we do it this way? Let
yeah,
Bhavna
of course,
give the
sir.
presentation.
Of course, sir. Bhavna ma'am.
And then we'll talk about it and then I'll put things into perspective.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay.
Bhavna ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So, as you mentioned that we are going to talk about digital rights and responsibilities today. So, I would be talking about it in a greater detail. So, first let's understand what is digital rights and responsibilities. So, as a digital technology user, we have certain privileges and freedom. And with these privileges and freedom, there are certain behavioral expectations from us. So, before explaining it in detail, I would first like to give some background information about the number of internet users we currently have. So according to Internet and Mobile Association of India, currently there are 692 million internet users. If we segregate this data in urban India and rural India, so in urban area there are 341 million internet users, and in rural area there are 351 million internet users. So we cannot say that the internet penetration is taking place only in the urban areas, it is also taking place in the rural areas. and this number will increase, and it has been expected that by 2025 there will be 900 million internet users in India. So we can see that how large the audience we are talking about. So as I said, that it is not that the penetration is only taking place in urban area. It is also happening in remote part of the country, and that's why it becomes very important that the people who are using this technology have knowledge about this, have knowledge and awareness about it. So now I will move towards explaining what are digital rights. So as I said, that as a digital technology user, we have certain privileges and freedom. So what are these privileges? So as a digital technology user, we have right to access the internet. Then digital rights also include the right to access and use computer and other digital devices. Along with this, we have right to access, use, create and publish digital media in a responsible manner. Then as we have a right to privacy in the offline world, so in the same way we have right to privacy and freedom of expression in online world. The intellectual property rights. So the intellectual property rights also applies in the online world. Along with this, we have right to seek justice and redressal. So all these digital rights we have as a technology user. Now if I explain digital rights in a single sentence, it is an extension of human rights for the internet age, or we can say digital era, or we can also say that digital rights is basically the state authorized and approved requirements and freedoms that have been extended to all the netizens. So with digital rights, there are certain responsibilities also. So as a technology user, it is very important that we are using the technology in an appropriate manner. So as a, when we are in an offline world, we are part of a community. So in the same way, when we are online, we are part of an online community, and there are certain community guidelines and standards. So it is very important that if we are using anything, if we are using a technology, we have knowledge about those guidelines and standards, we are respecting them and we are following them. So especially for the children, because children are using technology from a very young age now. So a child who is 6, 7 or 8 nowadays play games on phone, on smartphone. A child who is 13-year-old or a 14-year-old is using social media. They have their own personal private social media account. So they should have proper knowledge about these things, and it is important that we are protecting their rights. So we need to work at a grassroots level. So we need to discuss digital etiquettes with them. What are digital etiquettes? In technical terms, digital etiquettes are the electronic standard of conduct or procedure. In simple terms, it defines how a person should behave or communicate when they are online. Now, digital etiquettes are also called as netiquettes. So now let's see what are digital etiquettes are we talking about. So the first thing is using appropriate language and behavior. So do not post or write anything online which you do not, which you won't say in a face-to-face conversation. So when we meet people in a face-to-face conversation, when we meet new people, we do not say negative things about them. We do not say on their face that, oh, you are not looking good. But when we are online, this line is blurred and we just don't think that what they will feel, and we just go there and write a comment. So do not do this. We need to empathize with others. We need to see, we need to feel what they are feeling by keeping ourselves on their situation, on their side. Then respecting others' opinions and ideas. Why? Because when we are online, we are communicating with a people from diverse background. They are coming from different background. They have different experiences, and based on those experiences, they have their point of view. And based on those point of view, they have, they form an opinion. So it is not possible that your opinion and my opinion will match. No, our opinions can be different. So it is important that we are respecting our each other's opinion and ideas. The next thing is to not share any inappropriate content. As I said, that nowadays a child who is 13-year or a 14-year-old child is also using social media. So it is very important that we are we are being mindful of the kind of content we are publishing. So publishing any such content which is sexual in nature or anything which is inappropriate and forwarding these kind of content is a crime. So it is important that we are not sharing any inappropriate content with anyone, then not using others work without their permission. When we are, it is a general practice that whenever we need any information, we go to Google, we look for the information, we copy it from there and submit it as our own. So when we are doing it, when we are copying something from Google, basically we are doing it is a kind of a theft which we call as plagiarism. Then safe downloading. So whenever you are downloading anything, just make sure you are downloading it from a trusted source. What is a trusted source? A Play Store, App Store, or a Microsoft Store is a trusted source. Do not download anything from a third party sources because there is a possibility that a malware is attached to the file. In layman terms, we can say that a virus was attached to the file, and when you downloaded that file in your phone or in your laptop, so that file entered in your system, it entered in your device. Now this file can be of different type. It can be a spyware or a ransomware. So what is a spyware? A spyware enters in your system and it basically collects all your information and it sends your information to the person who has created the spyware. Ransomware. What happens in ransomware? Basically, that malware will enter in your system and it will lock all your files and then will ask for money in return. Sometimes they also delete your file. So while downloading anything, just make sure you are downloading it from a trusted source and then keeping a track of permission. So this is also important because sometimes there are some apps which take unnecessary permissions from us. So whenever you are downloading anything, whenever you are downloading any app, just make sure you are reading the terms and conditions, which we generally don't. We just look for the app and we download it. We click on the I agree option. So it is important that we are reading the terms and conditions to understand how the app work and what do they do with our data. The next thing is fact check any information you are receiving before sharing it. So in this age of internet, there is a lot of information and there are some information which is true, there are some information which is false. So how can you identify it? And before sharing any information, it is important that we are 100% sure that the information I am forwarding to any other person is correct. So whenever we receive any news item, just don't forward it without doing the fact check. How can you do the fact check? Just observe the URL of the news. See whether it is saying HTTP or HTTPS. What is HTTPS? Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. The S in HTTPS is for secure. So a site which has HTTPS is a secure site. Then also look at the domain name and also look the source for the source of the information. So when you receive a news, look for these things. Also, what you can do is you can go to Google, look for the information. If it is a correct information, you will find it on other sources as well. If you receive any photo and you feel that you should share it with your friends, so how will you cross check a photo? Go to Google, type Google Images. Then when you will type Google Images, go to Google Images. On the search bar, we get an option of camera. There you can simply upload the photo or paste the link and the Google will do all the fact check and it will tell you whether the photo is correct or not. So do all these things, make it a standard practice that whenever you will receive any information, you will not believe in it at the first place. You will always cross check it and then you will share it with your friends and families. Then the next thing is reporting. Reporting is very important. Why? Because there is a lot of inappropriate content on social media which, if you come across it, report it. Maybe a child might be watching that kind of content. So report it. And while reporting, make sure that you are selecting the right option, because what happens when we report anything on the platform checks whether the content is violating the community guidelines or not. So sometimes what happens is that when we do report, but it is not deleted. So if we will not select the correct option, the platform cannot take any action. If you are facing harassment, bullying, or someone is threatening you, blackmailing you, or doing all these kind of things, so reporting is very important. Now let's understand data privacy, and we need to teach data privacy to children. First of all, what is data? So whatever information we are storing in our devices, whether you are using a phone, whether you are using a laptop, computer, or a tablet, we store a lot of information. This information is in the form of our contact, messages, location, documents, login ID, password. So all this information that we are storing is data. And we need to teach children that they should protect their data. Discuss the cybercrime cases that are happening. Why? Because when we will discuss cybercrime cases with them, they will understand the seriousness of the issue. So how can we protect our data? How can we safeguard ourselves? So let's see. Now, how to secure our data? The first thing is account privacy. So in the Facebook, we get an option of lock, and in the Instagram, we get the option for private account. So use those options, enable those options. What children generally do, they like that more people are there in their friend list or more people are following them. So they mindlessly start accepting requests from people they actually don't know in a offline world. And when you do so, you don't know who is behind the screen or who is operating that profile. There is a possibility that a criminal is doing it. So keep your account private. The next thing is two-factor authentication, or we can say two-step verification. Now, what happened in two-factor authentication is that when you enable this option, your account gets linked to your phone number. Now, whenever you will try to log in your account from any device, you will get a OTP on your phone. So, how is it protecting you? Even if someone gets your password, they will not be able to enter in your profile because the OTP will be coming on your phone number. So two-step verification, you will find this option on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, also on WhatsApp. In WhatsApp, when we will enable this option, we have to create a 6-digit code, and every 2 days the WhatsApp will ask for that code. So you will find this option in each of the platform. You will also find this option in your Gmail account or Apple ID. Then create a strong password. First of all, what is a strong password? A strong password is the one which has minimum of 8 characters. Then it should have a uppercase, a lowercase, special character like dollar, hashtag, and number. So combination of a uppercase, lowercase, special character, and phone number creates a strong password. Now, you have to make sure that you are not creating guessable password. What is a guessable password? So using your name, your parents' name, or your phone number, your date of birth, all these things are guessable password. So do not use these things to create a password. So then you will think, how can I create a strong password? You know, children, they listen to songs and they very easily remember the lyrics. So you can use lyrics of those songs to create a password, or you can you can just create a sentence like, I love reading books. Now take the first alphabet from the letters I, L, R, B, add a number, add a special character, and you have created an unguessable password. Then when you are creating password, just make sure you are not using same password for all of your accounts. Why? Because if you will keep same password for all your accounts, then it will be very easy for a criminal to hack your account or to access your account, because even they know that people tend to forget password and they keep same password for multiple accounts. Then for password, it is important that you are not writing it down on any notebook. Do not feel that if you have written it down in a diary or a notebook, then it is safe with you. No. What if you lost that notebook or diary? Then someone else will have your passwords, all your details. So do not write it down. Then how will you remember so many passwords? You can use password managers, which is like a vault, tijori, where you can keep all your passwords safe, and you will have to remember only one password. So whenever you want any password, you go go to the password manager, enter the password, and you will get to know all the passwords. So this was about strong password. Then do not overshare. Oversharing is one thing that we do unconsciously. First of all, you should share your photos, videos, anything you are sharing on social media. Make sure you are sharing it with your friends. Do not share it with everyone, because you do not know who might be seeing your photos or videos or your information. There might be a criminal who is watching it. There might be someone who was stalking you. So do not share everything with your friend, everything with everyone. Share it with your friends. Share, and make sure you are not accepting friend requests from people who you do not know. Then for children especially, I will say, do not share your live location. What we generally do is, whenever we go out, we just click a photo and we post a story. Now when we post a story, we also tag the live location. So as I said, that you do not know who is actually watching your activity. So there might be a possibility that some person was trying to kidnap you, and now you have given them your live location. So you have made their task very easy. We unconsciously breach our own privacy. Then the next thing is, track the login activities. Whatever media we are using, whether it's a Gmail or whatever social media account we are using, we can keep a track of the login activities. We get, whenever we log into our account, we get a notification. Are you trying to log in? Yes or no? If no, then they tell you to change your password in order to secure your account. So when you will track the login activities, you will be better aware of from how many devices your account is logged in. Sometimes what happen is that that there was some old device that you were using, and you forgot to delete that device from your account. So go in a month or a week, just go and check from what all devices you are logged in. If you see if there is any unfamiliar device, do not panic, delete the device and change your password to secure your account. Now, along with digital etiquettes, we also need to teach children about digital footprint. Why? Because they should understand the consequences of their activities. So what is a digital footprint? So just like whenever we walk, we leave behind a footprint. So whenever we are online, whatever activity we are doing, we leave behind a trail of data, which is known as digital footprint. So even if you are visiting a website, or you are sending a mail, or you are liking a picture, or you are watching a video, everything leaves behind. So you leave behind a data, and this data is traceable. So if you are engaging in any wrong activity, you can get traced. So never think that just because you are behind a screen, no one can catch you. No, your data is traceable, and we create passive and active digital footprint. How do we create a passive digital footprint? So whenever we connect to internet, a IP address is generated through which police tracks that from which device you logged in at and from what location. And active, when we are writing some comment or we are posting something. So that's how we leave behind a footprint. Now, the question is that how can school and what is the role of school and college? So school and colleges, children, they spend most of their time in school and college, and it becomes very important that we are creating school and colleges are creating an environment where children is learning about the benefits of the technology. They are building a healthy relationship with the technology, and they should drive children toward innovation and entrepreneurship. Along with this, it is important that they create an environment where a child can open up. Sometimes what happens is that they are not friendly with their parents, or they are scared of their parents. If something wrong happens, they do not inform their parents. But if you create an environment where a child is comfortable talking to you, they can seek help from you. So role of school and colleges, that's how school and colleges can play a role. Then, as I said, that internet penetration is taking place in the remote parts. So how can we spread awareness in the remote parts of the country? So the use of regional language can be very helpful, because if you see, most of the information on the internet is in English, then in Hindi, and in regional languages it is very limited. So if you use regional language, it can be very helpful. Then use of regional influencers. Regional influencers can play a very important role in attaining audience, in attaining audience attention, because people listen to them, they follow them. So if they will say something, they will understand it better. So regional influencers can also play an important role in spreading awareness in the remote parts. Now now let's talk about the policies that are there in the near future. So basically, government is working hard to create a digital space where everything is protected and secure. So they are working on policies. The telecom bill. So a draft will be launched by the end of the next week for of the telecom bills. Then privacy and data protection bill. It was in the news last month, and we saw that it was withdrawn. So it was presented in 2019 in the Lok Sabha by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So what happened basically, that they were aiming towards they were talking about how the government and the companies will deal with the individual data. So it was presented as personal data protection bill. But now a lot of suggestions have been given, recommendations have been given, and they are talking about covering the personal as well as non-personal data of a user. So data protection bill, so government is working on it. Then amendments in the IT Act 2000. When the IT Act 2000 was formed, so we didn't know that we will be using internet in the way we are right now. So a lot of amendments are happening in the IT Act. So in last year, in 2021, government notified about the IT rules. So they gave intermediary guidelines and digital media code of ethics, where they talked about what is the role of social media platform and over the top platform, which we call as OTT platforms. So they were broadly focusing on social media and OTT platforms. And in 2022, again, more recommendations have been given for the amendment. So now they are proposing to establish a grievance officer in each company, a grievance appellate committee, and they are also talking about mandating for all the intermediaries to publish their policies on their website and application, so that it is easier for a user to access it. So who are these intermediaries we are talking about? So these intermediaries are social media platform like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Now we are also moving toward 5G. From 4G to 5G, we are just moving toward a 5G, and government is working on it also. So all these things are being done by government in order to create an open, safe, trusted and accountable environment where all the internet users are safe. So this is all about digital rights and responsibilities, and you can find Cyber Peace Foundation on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn and Instagram. So thank you.
In this age of internet, we are bombarded with all sorts of information. So it is very important for us to be very sure in the first place, so that we could share only the correct information with our near and dear ones, and also with everyone. Thank you so much for laying the foundation of this session. Now proceeding in the conversation, Harmeet sir, I would like to request you to please add a bit from your knowledge with all our viewers regarding the digital rights and responsibilities of the citizens.
So, Bhavna, thank you. You gave a very broad-based and informative presentation, which put into perspective the rights and duties that most of us have. As this is an NCERT-led program and it's got to do with Jagrookta and children, let me talk from the perspective of children. Whenever we talk, we end up giving out knowledge without actually putting ourselves into the shoes of the person in front. And in this case, the person in front is the child. Can we remove this screen, please? The presentation screen. I don't think we need it anymore. The share presentation we can stop now, so that we can sort of see each other.
Of course, sir. Of course.
Okay. So when we talk about digital rights and this thing, I want to put it into 4 different subtopics kind of things. One is the legal framework, which Bhavna already mentioned. The second is the capacities and capabilities that we have. Third is the skills and attitudes that we need. And what I said, the perspective of the children. So let me start ulta. The perspective of the children. The first thing, children, their teachers and their parents must understand that the entire thing is one ecosystem. COVID and the lockdowns brought us to a much faster pace of digitalization and digitization than we had ever expected. Education went online like never before. Your social life went online because you couldn't go out and meet anyone. And as far as the parents and the children are both concerned, your financial life went online. Alongside is the fact that the government is working so hard with Digital India, and we are one of the digital powerhouses of the world. So you have a situation where, as Bhavna mentioned, there are 692, that's almost 700 million people already internet enabled. Now, whether totally empowered or internet literate or the quality of content is not the question. But the biggest thing is that it's a humongous number of people that have access to internet, and out of this, everybody, including in the rural areas, is already on smartphones. So a lot of content is flowing. So Bhavna spoke about how to control this content and how to look at it. But if I can just speak a bit in Hindi also.
Of course, sir.
There will be some students who don't understand Hindi, so I'll make it a mixture. But सबसे पहली problem क्या है, that as teachers and as parents, we come from an analog age. The children today are born in a digital age. They're digital kids. We are analog parents. We are analog teachers. We are analog older people. So पहला reaction है, ए ये WhatsApp छोड़ो, तुम Twitter पे क्यों हो? Time मत waste करो. सिर्फ जो YouTube पे क्लास है उसको देखो. No. Twitter, WhatsApp. Kids, of course, for fun use Instagram. Facebook is now localized. It's out as far as kids is concerned. Like my son tells me, Facebook is passé. But Twitter is where children can get a lot of information, and as Bhavna said, check the provenance of the information, and they can also get a lot of reach to policy makers, whether it is education policy makers, government policy makers, corporate policy makers, or any other kind of policy makers that they want to reach. They want to reach people in the media, they want to reach. So Twitter gives them that kind of reach. So number one is, we must put ourselves into the shoes of the children, allow them social media and internet access, let them progress on their path, but guide them. For guiding them, we first have to know what are the safeguards that are needed and what are available. So to put whatever Bhavna said into one phrase, it's cyber hygiene. Like we get up in the morning and brush our teeth, like we clean our house, we make our bed, cyber hygiene is what we have to follow. So it's very simple. As Bhavna said, strong password rakho, galat website mat kholo. You get a link, if you don't know the person, if you don't know the link, even if you know the person, don't click on any link on WhatsApp or SMS or email. So cyber hygiene is what you and I together have to reach out not only to children but also to their elders. So as this is an educational platform, my request to you would be that kindly create some cyber hygiene content. We can help you with that. We can partner for that with you and create cyber hygiene content which you can put out on your special programs so that people get to know what exactly cyber hygiene is. Then let's come to the legal part. Problem hone ke time, is there any redressal available? Yes, there is redressal available. So, Bhavna spoke a lot about the acts and what is happening, but let me just tell you that as far as cyber crimes related to children is concerned, there are the following kind of problems that children face. The first is cyberbullying. Even when we went to school, there was bullying. बच्चे को सीनियर बच्चे दूसरे बच्चे बुली करते थे. That has now gone on to the cyber world. So there's a mixture of actual bullying and cyber bullying that is taking place. Then there is of course online sexual abuse. Then there is online sexual exploitation, cyber extremism and various kinds of radicalization that can happen to young people. There's CSAM, that is, cyber dirty material basically, if I may call it. And there's OXAC, which is the online child sexual abuse. Now for all this, there is legal remedies available. Now what kind of legal remedies? In fact, the IT Act now has a specific section related to children, which is 67B. The government has, as Bhavna said, the new IT intermediary guidelines, jisme internet service providers will have to stop this kind of content. Then there is the Interpol lists which are available. Then the Internet Watch Foundation pe all intermediaries have to work. But the main thing is that for children, what is available is the cyber crime portal of MHA, where they can report any kind of crime or harassment that takes place, and there is 1930, a number where they can report. As far as we in Assam are concerned, hamara pura social media platform is open. In fact, we get a lot of calls from children. We get a lot of messages from children either on Twitter, Facebook, and even on our helplines. We run WhatsApp helplines. We also run distress helplines. So if I actually count numbers, there would be at least in the last 5 years 100 children we have saved from committing the dastardly act of suicide, of taking their lives by suicide. In fact, Facebook की जब head of Legal India आई थी, तो Times of India ने उनसे पूछा that have you ever worked with law enforcement and actually done anything productive? So the example she gave was the Assam police, where Facebook rang us up at 11:30 at night, gave us a phone number and said this child somewhere is contemplating a sad act, can you act? The child was in a rural area. Within half an hour, the child had been saved, handed over to the parents and counseled. That is the kind of power of the internet and of the cyber world, which is positive. So ye positive power leke, we have to empower our children. I told you about these things. I think NCERT and CBSE are also working on course content regarding cyber hygiene and the digital world. So that will go a long way. There is of course the Center for Cybercrime Prevention against Women and Children, which was mentioned. And then there is I4C. So Government of India ki taraf se there are a lot of initiatives. But aap log ke platform se it would be good to get these initiatives out to the children. Now let me come to the main point which relates to children and cyber hygiene is communication. As teachers and parents, if we do not communicate with children, so the minute they see a problem, somebody bullying them, somebody sending them lewd or sexual messages, they will not know how to react. So, chahe schools mein ho, chahe colleges mein ho, chahe ghar pe ho, there should be an open environment where the child can at least mention that we are having problems. That they can talk to someone. So every school has a sexual harassment committee, every office has that. उसमें एक cyber portion भी जोड़ लेना चाहिए. एक cyber portion जोड़ने से, don't form a new committee, don't add layers of bureaucracy to everything. Just have a person who can counsel them. All school colleges have counselors, all offices have counseling services. एक counseling की service जोड़ने से, And I would request all other government agencies and police forces and educational institutions, you all have social media presences. Please put your social media presence open for kids so that they can reach out to you. Reach out and communication is the main thing. Uske bina, you can't teach anybody. Why are we today on this screen today? We are today on this screen because we are trying to talk to each other. We are trying to get a message out on YouTube and Tata Sky. So this message must go out that communication has to be two-way. One-way communication से हमारा काम नहीं होने वाला. Now, इसी में बात करते करते I have spoken to you about capacities. So we build capacities. We have trained counselors. We have people who can point the children in the right way regarding cyber hygiene and their cyber duties and their cyber rights, which Bhavna spoke about, how to put things across, not to share things which are funny. You know, आज ही हम लोग ने एक tweet किया है that this rumor on child lifters is again starting all over the country. ये waves में आता है child lifter का rumor. उसके चलते rural areas और छोटे शहरों में lynching हो जाती है. They actually lynch people thinking that they are child lifters. So we've had that kind of incident in Assam earlier, and we just heard about it happening in the hinterland. तो आज ही tweet किया है saying kindly don't spread rumors. So sharing anything, forwarding anything, it leads to a lot of problems. So apart from the capacities that we build, let's just talk one line about skills and attitudes. सबसे पहले तो हम सबको जो डिजिटल we are the digital age, we grew up in the digital age. हमको बोला जाता था हाइजीन क्या था, बाहर जाओगे पेड़ पे चढ़ के गिर मत जाना, साइकिल से गिर मत जाना, फुटबॉल खेलते हुए don't get hurt. Today we have to teach the kids that apart from physical activities, don't get hurt on the internet. You know, yesterday I was with the head of UNICEF Child Protection India and some other experts on another panel with Madhya Pradesh Police, and that is where we realized that at a lot of places, because parents and teachers are from the digital, not from the digital age, but they grew up in the analog age, they don't know how to react. So it's very easy. The digital age is much easier. आजकल के बच्चों को how to use a digital platform सिखाना ही नहीं पड़ता. They are born knowing it. Like we were born. Well, once we used to get onto a cycle, we used to learn it on our own. They know how to use a computer. So our attitude has to be open to them, to be open to the digital world, allow them to use the digital world and tell them that use it as much as you want, but stay away from the negative. The negative is cyber hygiene, and I think Bhavna had a very good presentation that you can actually share through your platform and let it be there on YouTube permanently so that people can actually visit it. This is just an overview I wanted to give. I think Bhavna and I are both open to questions now if there are any.
Of course sir. Sir बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका हमारे साथ इस सत्र में बनने के लिए और साथ ही हमारे दर्शकों को ये महत्वपूर्ण जानकारी देने के लिए. And thank you so much for putting it out through this platform, basically from the perspective of children. Because nowadays online safety, it has been a huge concern, as we all know that everything has got its pros and cons. So the same happens with technology, and we have to be very careful. At the same time,
I just want to put one thing more out. Between 2019 and 2020, the COVID lockdown, the first lockdown, cyber crimes against children across the country went up by 400%. So we must keep that in mind. Of course, now it's not at that same level, but that is the time we went into digitization. So unless we teach our children how to be cyber safe and keep cyber hygiene, these problems will continue and they traumatize the children. Sorry for butting in.
Yeah, no, that's fine, sir. So, sir, with regard to that, like as you have mentioned, the hike in the cyber crimes against children, they might be more vulnerable as compared to other population. So, sir, I would like to ask you, what are the existing legal instruments available in India to protect children's best interest when it comes to online safety, and also the mechanism that is in action for all our viewers, for the children? Yeah.
तो इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स तो मैंने और भावना ने मेंशन किए. आईटी एक्ट है, नया आईटी रूल्स है, पॉक्सो में देयर इज अ स्पेसिफिक सेक्शन. सो द लीगल फ्रेमवर्क इज वेरी रोबस्ट. And when you talk about mechanism, so the cybercrime portal of the Government of India of MHA, it is available. That is 1930 is available. All state polices have a cyber cell, and eventually there is the police station. Police station को reach out करके, local police को reach out करके, they can reach the cyber cell. Now every state has a cyber cell. Now all metros have their own cyber police stations. So there is a mechanism available. As I said, India is a digital powerhouse. So every policeman might not know how to handle the cyber crime, but he knows how to get you to the people who will handle the cyber crime. So mechanisms available hai, mechanisms internet pe available hai, and I guess most police forces react to Twitter and WhatsApp messages, so those are also available.
Of course, sir. Thank you for answering that. And sir, with that, I would also request you to please apprise us a bit. How do you see the role of law enforcement agencies in ensuring effective cybercrime investigation in our country?
So, as I said, as these growing laws, as Bhavna had said that when the first IT Act was envisaged, nobody thought the internet and social media would spread to such an extent. In fact, उस time social media ऐसा था ही नहीं. So, usko milake, we are building capacities. Capacities of the police are being built. And I'll just give you a small case which is not related to children. But 5 days ago, we got a report saying that somebody had been cheated of 20 lakhs. Now, 20 lakhs for a small businessman is a big amount of money. 24 घंटे के अंदर वो पैसा freeze होके वापस आ गया. So the capacities are there. The police is working efficiently. Now, with the new IT rules and the new Act amendments which will come in a little while, and simultaneously, I would like to let you know that the judiciary is very proactive, and a lot of sensitization and understanding of the subject is going on within them also. In fact, even in a small thing like challans, Honorable Justice Chandrachud launched Assam's e-challan system a couple of years ago. और अगर मैं आपको बताऊं कि आज गुवाहाटी जैसी सिटी में ई-चालान पे 4 करोड़ रुपए महीने के चालान कटते हैं, so it's all transparent, it's all cyber. So there is a lot of efficiency happening on the cyber world, and naturally as we go more and more online, we have to be equipped for it. Governments are going totally e. Files are you're not supposed to move physical files anymore. It's all on the net. So naturally, we have to also keep up with the pace.
As sir, in the conversation, you are sharing certain important details, the essential piece of information with all our viewers, but I would like to inform you that we are left by the last 4 minutes. So here is the last concluding remarks that I'll request to you to present it for all our viewers, especially the young age comers, the adolescents. What is that one piece of advice that you would like to bring through this platform for all our viewers, specifically when we talk about the use of technology, or rather I should say the judicious use of technology in their lives?
Okay, so if you want me to put it in 4 or 5 lines,
yes.
The first word is think. Socho. In fact, with Assam Police, we run the Think campaign about everything, and especially about cyber, which has won international awards. So think. So before you take any step in the cyber world, like in the normal world, before you take any step, you think, please think, should I click on this? Should I share this? Should I make this person my friend? Should I do this? Should I share such a photograph? Should I share personal information? So the simple word is think. The minute we start thinking before every step, and we think logically, cyber hygiene comes on its own. So the concluding remark is just one word, think. The last point that I want to add is for parents, which is sharenting. I personally have been doing a lot of work on sharenting. Sharenting का simple मतलब है माता पिता बेबी के पैदा होने के पहले वाले अल्ट्रासाउंड से लेके till the child becomes 18, they share everything on the social media. You are opening up your child for exploitation, for identity theft, for cyberbullying, for everything. So जैसे you do not share things about your child with strangers, Please don't share things which are private about your child on social media. You are opening up the world ills, the bad things for your child. हाँ, आपने बच्चे का बर्थ डेट दे दिया, आपने बच्चे का नाम दे दिया, आपने बच्चे का एड्रेस दे दिया, आपने बच्चे के पपी का नाम दे दिया, तो किसी ने तो बच्चे का प्रोफाइल बना लिया, पपी का नाम मिल गया तो पासवर्ड भी मिल गया. So sharenting and thinking and think before sharenting. So अगर आप सोचेंगे, cyber hygiene is down your street. So just think. And one last line, please don't be, this is for children. Person that you don't know physically, you don't know personally, please do not befriend on social media.
Of course, sir. Very well said. Thank you so much. And one of the best takeaways from this session is think before sharing. So, thank you to all the viewers as well who have been a part of this conversation. I could just go through the comment section of NCRT Official, and the beautiful comments are pouring in the comment section. Like one of our viewers says that it's a nice initiation and every responsible citizen should watch it. Thanks a lot. All your feedback, your messages are immensely important for us. So keep writing to us. Well, the objective of this particular training program, so that you understand more about a responsible digital citizen while using technology appropriately, and also operating online safely and knowledgeably and following secure practices in the digital world. I would like to take this moment to thank both our experts who have been a part of this conversation. Thank you so much, Harmeet sir, for guiding our path in the conversation with all our viewers. Thank you. Thank you so much, Bhavna ma'am, for being a part of this conversation. It was our honor to have such a dignified guest. So thanks a lot to all the viewers who have connected with us, but you don't have to go anywhere, because upcoming is our session of Sahyog, where we provide guidance for mental well-being and psychosocial support for all the students and viewers watching our session. So stay connected to NCRT and keep watching PM eVidya channels. Namaskar.